Greetings and salutations, my friends. So last week I made a video. It was kind of off the cuff. It wasn't planned, talking about YouTube and how, I was trying to be blunt and honest. I wasn't trying to scare people off, but I was just trying to be on it. And everybody took it. Most people took it the right way. I wasn't trying to say you shouldn't do it and everything like that. I was just sort of giving, a few home truths and stuff. And I thought to this side of it, because, you could argue that somewhat was a bit negative. It was talking about the difficulties and stuff. But in this video, I wanted to do the flip side of it. And using me as the example, I'm going to talk to you about what YouTube has done for me as a person and how I've grown and all the random bizarre stuff that's happened to me since starting this YouTube channel. If you're here just for the Football Manager, that's fine. You can skip this one. Go ahead, watch Monday's video. We'll be back with the Journeyman. This is just more of a sort of chatty series. So let's get into it. So I was born in the year of 1977 in Bournemouth, Christchurch Hospital, on the south coast of England. No, I'm not going to go through the whole history. Right, but let's just say, growing up from the years of school age, like 5 to 16, every single report that's ever been in my, that you get from school has always said, he's really intelligent, if only he tried. Now, literally, I can, from 5 years old onwards, basically, was like, I'd only really do stuff that I was interested in. I was stubborn, and trying to force me to do stuff is just never... They tried to get me to wear glasses when I was 6. I stamped on them repeatedly until they just gave up. I didn't want to go to play school when I was 5. So on my first day, punched the teacher, got expelled forever. So I'm a dick. Clearly, I was a horrible, annoying little child. But I've struggled, and that went into my work life, because I never knew what I wanted to do with my life. I never had an occupation. There was like something I could aim for. So when it got to college, I was like, well, what? I didn't see the point of studying anything if I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I went into the working world. My first job was £2 an hour, 40 hours a week, welding little mesh baskets that you use for deep fat fryers. That was fun because you get sparks everywhere and burns continuously. So that was great. And I've done tons of jobs over the years. I've been the longest one. I moved to Jersey in the Channel Islands, and everybody there is an accountant. So I became an accountant for like 7-8 years. Hated that after about 7-8 years. And then I learned, I'm a qualified mortgage advisor. Did that for a couple of years. Insurance and stuff. Lots of random office jobs, lots of agency work and stuff. Never really finding something, and because I'm shit, if it was something I wasn't interested in, I couldn't just do it, just get my nose down and stuff like that. So, floated about life for the longest of time. It literally wasn't until I was 38 years old. I was an avid YouTuber watcher. I've been playing Football Manager since it was Championship Manager since it started. And I was like, just floating along through life, just getting jobs because money, no other reason, not really discovering what I wanted to do. And then one day on YouTube, I got suggested a Football Manager video. For some reason, I have never even searched Football Manager. I played it all the time. I watched a lot of YouTube. I didn't think there was a crossover, to be honest. And I think it was probably one of Work the Spaces videos that popped up one day and was like, I was like, oh, Football Manager on YouTube, that's a thing. Clicked on the video, found it entertaining. Was like, oh, okay, so it can be done. I was like, I've never made a YouTube video. I don't know how to record or do sound or edit or do graphics. Like, I have none of the abilities to do any of those things. Like, literally, never done it even as a hobby or anything like that. The only thing I did have was I'm an entrepreneur, and I do business consultancy, and I know marketing, and I know business. And it is essentially a small business. So, but with YouTube, I discovered it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a video. I was not working at the time. I was basically just looking after the house and looking after all the dogs. So I was a house husband. I had time. And I was like, let's just do this for fun, purely for fun. And spent the next couple of days working out what programs I needed, how to record what you do and stuff. I'd never spoken publicly before. All these sort of things. I was like, I'm just going to do it. It's for nobody else. I want to see if I can make a YouTube video. And in the act of that period of about 3 days of just learning the very basics, how to record, using OBS and how to make a thumbnail, what size they should be, and all that sort of stuff, uploaded my first video. or first couple of videos, and I, in my life, have never had a single bigger light bulb moment where, even though nobody had viewed them, I maybe got a couple of views, maybe a comment. I don't even know if I had any comments. But just making them and putting them on the internet, I was like, literally, I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do with my life. I've just discovered it. Admittedly, it took me 38 fucking years. I could have found it 10 years sooner, and then I could have been PewDiePie, but I'm not bitter about it. But I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do for a job. So, yes, on that last video, I was talking about make sure you're doing it, being honest with yourself why you want to do it. It's fine to say, I want to make this my career. That's fine, because then you know what your target is and what your goal is and how you can build to it. But it's those people that sort of, we talked about it last video, that sort of say that they don't want to, it's just a hobby, because they don't want to say that it's a possible job. And anyway, so I jumped headlong, literally. You can go back and watch my first videos. Although I do sound mildly suicidal, I think it's actually really important to keep those videos up, because if you were starting YouTube tomorrow, it'd be quite cool if you could go back and look at my old video and see how shit I was. You could argue I'm shit now, but there's definitely been an improvement, right? And I was like, okay, this is a thing. And for the first 2 years of YouTube, I was obsessive about numbers, statistics, growth. I had all the other YouTube creators of Football Manager, and I'd update a spreadsheet every month to make sure I was gaining, I was going faster, I was, growing faster and everything. And that was like it for the first 2 years. Like, stupid amount of hours. I was incredibly lucky that I wasn't working, so I don't know what I'd have done if I'd had a proper job at the time. And I was lucky enough to make this a thing that I could actually do. I could actually make this a career. I mentioned this in the other video, is like timing as well. I started 5 years ago, and there was less creators, so it is easier. It's just factually. I know people that were around then don't want to hear it, but it is just factually easier when there's less competition. Yes, you could argue there's less people searching for it and stuff like this, but it is easier when there's less competition and stuff, and so I took advantage of that, and I grew, and I got it to a place where it was allowing me to pay the bills at a full-time wage and save a bit of money towards buying the house that I'll talk about later. And that's all I ever wanted. I don't give a shit about being rich. I don't want a massive house. I want a sort of small house on a big bit of land for the dogs. Don't care about don't want a mansion. Don't give a shit. So once I got to the point where I was making a living, I kind of just was, then it sort of switched off the whole tracking stats, and I just focused on making the videos that I wanted to make. And over the long term of the channel, that's probably hurt it, but it's because, as we spoke before, long series of YouTube doesn't work well with the algorithm. So you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot, producing 150 episode series and stuff like this. And that's partly why I've mixed things up this with the FM22 coming out. So let's talk about the sort of future and going forward. So at the moment, I'm living in this rented accommodation. I've got a lovely girlfriend. I've got some very lazy, lovely dogs. And it's all going pretty good. And I'm saving money towards buying the house. So for those that don't know, our plan, me and Emma, is to buy a house in Northern Ireland, or potentially even build a house with a bit of land where we can start a cat and dog charity of some description. Mainly looking after troubled dogs that, maybe they've been left outside. So before they get rehomed properly, I'll take them in, get them used to living in a house with other dogs and stuff, so they're ready for rehoming. Maybe dogs that struggle with other dogs, or they're a bit nervous. Also, I'd love to provide a place for older dogs that, you see those like 12-year-old Yorkshire Terriers on those rehoming websites, and it's so sad, and the owner's died, and this poor 12-year-old dog that's had this whole life just chill with its own owner and stuff is kind of starting again, and that gives me heartbreak. That does. It's horrible. And so I'd like to be in a position where we can offer space and a bit of land for the dogs to run about in, so that I can rehome the older ones, maybe. Give them 2 years, the last couple of years of their life, to enjoy, relax, and have a lovely home. And it will have a YouTube channel, and it will have its own Patreon to pay for vet bills and stuff, because that's going to be astronomical if I'm looking after old dogs. And with Emma as well, we're doing the cat side of things, so we're going to have a catio and do the same, working with local charities and stuff. I'm very, very excited about that, but that all happens, you know, when I move in. To get to that point, here we go. So this is the intermediate point. This is, at the moment, I'm saving a little bit of money towards end goal buying a house, okay? Once I get the house, you know, like I said, I don't care about being rich. I just want to pay the bills, pay the rent, pay the vet bills and all that sort of stuff. So, this year, things have changed slightly. After quite a long battle, I'm not going to go into full detail here. After quite a long battle, I'm taking some time off Twitch. I talked about it before. I love Twitch streaming. I love when I'm live and chatting to you guys. I don't love the anxiety and everything that like haunts everything around Twitch streaming for me personally. And sometimes it's fine. I guess it's just how I am in that moment and stuff. And it was just becoming a bit stressful for me. And although it's probably 33% of my income, I just stopped about a few weeks ago. Not permanently, but for the time being, just for my own mental welfare. And also, I'm loving making YouTube content at the moment. I wanted to do something different. I want to go back to the end of that 2-year period where I was still focusing on growth and going, you know what? Actually, yeah, I do want to grow. I want to, like I said, I don't care about becoming rich. But if you've got, say, 55,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? And if in a year's time you're making videos, and in a year's time, let's say you haven't grown, but you haven't shrunk, you're 55,000 subscribers, okay? But the trouble is, if you're staying still, you're actually going backwards, because every year you lose a certain amount of your subscribers that just stop watching you for whatever reason, millions of reasons. But a lot of people don't unsub to channels they don't watch anymore. There's tons of channels I'm sub to that I don't watch. And so you actually get lesser. So I was like, okay, let's get back into this. Let's start enjoying the numbers and the analytics again, because I'm a nerd and I like graphs and analytics and spreadsheets and stuff like this. Not to the crazy extent, but just do some things that will help grow my channel. So obviously I was going to do the Journeyman. I was always planning to, I've been desperate to do the Journeyman, loving the Journeyman. So that just sits there. And it will be a long series because I love doing a long series. So I'm not just going to dump everything to focus on the algorithm. I'm going to do what I like to do. And as part of that, we've got this Friday video series. I've done lots of rambles over the years, but they always come sort of drift in and out. And to make myself say, hey, Friday is a thing where we have a chat about something, whether it be Football Manager or this chat or whatever it may be, and giving that to myself and saying, look, this is the Friday thing now, you do that. And I've given because I'm not streaming, I've got a bit more time to sort of think about ideas and stuff. I've got some really cool ideas with some stuff that's never been done before in Football Manager because it's probably shit, but it's quite funny. So I've got a ton of plans and, you know, I'm wanting to grow the channel. I'm not having goals because the problem with setting goals, like, say, view goals or subscriber goals, is that so much of that is out of your hands. So generally you want to give yourself goals that it is fully on you, that you can achieve if you work hard enough. I could theoretically work my absolute nuts off for the rest of the year and not gain any subscribers. So I'm not a big fan of those type goals. But let's, you know, I'm just going to try and grow for the rest of this Football Manager, make some really fun videos, and like, I honestly don't know how far away I am from getting the house. It's, you know, houses are very expensive. A lot cheaper in Northern Ireland, but still very expensive, especially if you want a bit of land. And so I'll keep you updated whenever, you know, that comes closer. But we're looking to be sort of a year away, hopefully. And with the streaming, I definitely will be back to streaming. Like I said, I love streaming. It's just I've got to be in the right frame of mind. And rather than dipping in and out of streaming on Twitch and people subbing for a month and then me not streaming for a month just feels real dickish. So I think potentially what I might do is if and when I do stream, I'll just stream on YouTube. Because I want to do some sort of fun Friday episode, like a Thursday episode of The Journeyman where it's the, you know, last game of the season or something, and doing a live episode and stuff like that. I really enjoyed doing the live premieres because that was really fun, and getting involved in the chat and stuff. So definitely a live episode here and there. I haven't decided yet. Let me know your thoughts, feedback on this. I was thinking about adding the join button to my YouTube. I haven't done so before. Basically, it's like a subscription, like Twitch. $5 a month. I think YouTube gives you a slightly bigger cut of that. And it won't really get you much. I'll make some emotes and stuff and everything, but it's just a way to support the channel. So let me know if that's of any interest in you whatsoever, or more so, as long as it doesn't piss you off. It's just a way for people to support me, but I'm not gonna do it if loads of you are like, no, that would do me a din. I try very hard to make sure I don't mention things like Patreon and stuff too often, because I could do a daily update thanking patrons, but then I feel like it would just be a big ad for Patreon. So I'm doing that once a week on Mondays and stuff. So yeah, I've got to get my business brain on and basically spend a bunch of time improving my YouTube channel and doing some really sort of fun stuff. I've also been spending a lot of time recently investing in stocks and shares and a little bit of crypto, and learning more about that whole world, because just as important, if not more important than earning the money, doing something with that money while you're not using it is vitally important. If you've got savings, you want to be making sure that you've got it in an ISA to save on a bit of tax, and you want to, you know, bank interest is non-existent. I got 32p on my last bank statement, bank interest, okay? So using the money I've already saved, that pot, to invest, not riskily, but just, you know, nice diversified portfolio. And so that's something I've been focusing on. Also, the candle company is still happening and well underway and stuff. I've just sort of put it back a little bit because the new Football Manager's come out, and like I said, I'm focusing on YouTube and everything else. That's always my main goal. Everything else is just around the outside. So at some point, probably in the new year, and I'm also doing lots of testing because I'm making my own containers and candles and everything. So lots of testing. So yeah, so much going on, but so very exciting. And I just wanted to sort of finish this point, because last Friday video was, you know, it was blunt and everything, but I think I got my point across. But on the flip side of that, for me, I can only talk from my personal perspective, but YouTube has given me, and I know this is going to sound incredibly overdramatic, but it is 100% the truth. YouTube has given me a purpose in life. I've always felt like I was wandering around, you know, aimlessly, right? Like some walking simulator. And from job to job and stuff like this. And literally, the day one of finding YouTube and making a YouTube video was just eye-opening. And it was like, oh, I found my thing. It's only a bit late, but I found my thing. And that's what I want to say. Because I know from personal experience how fucking scary that is, and how worrying that is, and stressful that is, if you're in your 20s or 30s and you're not sure what it is you want to do for a career. There's lots of people like that. I don't think it's true that, you know, everybody knows what they want to do when they're in school and that's it, sorted. Because otherwise the world would be full of fucking vets, wouldn't it? So I think it's just important that for you guys to know that it might randomly happen one day, but it might take a while. But you will find something that you love and that gets on with it. And even if it is YouTube, if you've ever thought about making a YouTube channel, just do it. Nobody's going to watch your first videos ever anyway. Just go make some videos. I don't care what it's about. Just go make some videos. Chat a bit. Just do it. See, the first thing you need to discover with YouTube is to see if you enjoy it. Because you might like the sound of being a YouTuber, but you might not like the recording of it, or hearing your voice back when you're editing, or the editing itself, or doing all the graphic design, or all the SEO stuff, or all the forms you have to fill out when you upload a video. You might hate that, and then that'll be sorted. But you don't know until you try. So I honestly say to everybody that ever thinks about doing YouTube, give it a go. You might love it, you might hate it, you might love it, and then in a year's time, you might not have grown, or maybe nobody's watching your content. You might be shit at it. But you would have learnt 15 different skills in that year that you can use going forward. So even though last video was very much be prepared for the possible pitfalls of doing YouTube and stuff, I want this video to be, but if you want to do it, go for it. Like, seriously, everybody should have a go if they're interested. Don't worry about timing. Don't wait for the next Football Manager to come out before you start. Don't wait, you know, make a video. Just do it. There's lots of free software. You don't even have to, all you need is a webcam, but modern, you've got phone. You've got phones, haven't you? You know, there's no excuse not to now. The phone has a microphone and webcam, and you could do it all for free. OBS is free. Give it a shot and have a go. So there you go. So my plans summarized are, this year I'm going to try and grow the YouTube channel. I'm going to still make the videos that I want to make. That is the rule one of my channel. If I stop finding it fun, then I will give up, as I have proved before, because I am a flawed human. So rule number one has always been what I want to do, what is fun for me, because otherwise I will think. But after that, it's trying stuff and doing new things and pushing myself a little bit, making these videos and stuff. I was always reticent to have a schedule of a particular video, because then I would be nervous. What if I can't think of anything to say that week? Trust me, I've had these panic attacks. Sort of Thursday, I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done Friday's video. And just sort of pushing myself to do it a little bit. So, yeah, if you have any advice, whether you're a YouTuber or not, if you're a viewer of YouTube, you are the customer. You are the thing that makes everything else work. Nothing works without the viewer. So even if you're just a viewer, like, your feedback is important to anyone starting out. But there you go. That's my plans. So at 38, I discovered what I wanted to do. Now, 5.5 years later, I've built a channel and I'm saving money towards ultimate end goal. And when I do get the house with the dogs and we start doing that dog, this YouTube channel's not going away. I'm going to do this fucking YouTube channel until the day I die. I want to be that guy. I want to be that 85-year-old guy making YouTube gaming videos. Like you see the occasional streamers on Twitch. I fucking love that, and I want to be one of those people. I won't be able to see, and my already terrible memory will be shot, but I think that will just make it more entertaining, if anything. Right, there we go. Happy Friday, everybody. Have a fucking wonderful weekend. And I just want to say, the biggest bonus of all of this is community. As growing a YouTube channel, you want to grow a community alongside it. It makes sense. People that watch your videos and hang out and stuff like this. And so in the book of how to do it, that's what you do. Make a Discord, you know, get people involved, stuff like this. And I did that. But what I didn't realise was that I'd have a community that just became my friendship group. Not even in a lot of these people I've never even met. But I've done a meet-up in Nottingham where I met a bunch of you amazing people. I've done an Amsterdam meet-up, which was just the best thing ever, and met a bunch of people. And what I thought I needed to do, which was create a community of people, like-minded people. That was the goal. What I've actually created is just a place where all my mates hang out. I'm the luckiest fucking person in the world. I'm going, I fancy a chat with my mates. Oh, hang on. Let me just pop onto Discord, and there's 10 of them in the voice chat that I can just hang out with. It is my accidental genius of creating this tight a community, and I know every YouTuber says their community is the best and stuff, but mine is the fucking best. I don't care. They're brilliant. They sent me some cum lube. Like, who else would do that for you? Right, there we go. I'm definitely done. The waffle is over. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.